Welcome back to Jikook Daily, your place for the latest Jimin and Jungkook updates, fan reactions, behind-the-scenes discussions, and the moments that keep the Jikook fandom talking. And today, we have a Baltimore story that has fans seriously curious. According to an unverified fan-circulated claim, Jimin and Jungkook were allegedly seen asleep together backstage before a BTS soundcheck in Baltimore, with Suga reportedly noticing the sweet moment. The story has quickly caught the attention of Jikook fans because it paints a picture of the two members simply relaxing together before another demanding performance schedule. But here is where things get interesting. Is this actually something that happened backstage, or is the story based on fan interpretation and an unverified report that has spread across social media? That is exactly what we are going to examine today. We will talk about what the claim says, why fans are connecting it to Jimin and Jungkook's close friendship, what Suga's alleged involvement means in the story, and most importantly, what we can and cannot confirm from publicly available information. So stay with us until the end, because some of the details surrounding this Baltimore story are much more interesting when you separate the reported claim from the fan reaction. And before we get into everything, if you love Jimin and Jungkook's friendship and want more Jikook updates, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Jikook Daily, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Now let's get into the Baltimore story. BTS has been continuing its busy schedule during the 2026 World Tour, and Baltimore has become another major stop that has fans watching almost every update surrounding the members. Whenever BTS arrives in a new city, fans naturally pay attention to everything, from airport appearances and travel updates to rehearsals, soundcheck moments, backstage content, and interactions between the members. This time, however, one particular story began circulating among Jikook fans. The claim describes Jimin and Jungkook allegedly falling asleep together backstage before soundcheck. According to the version being shared by fans, the two were supposedly resting before their schedule became even more hectic. The story becomes even more interesting because Suga was reportedly the person who noticed the moment. That detail immediately caught the attention of fans. Why? Because the image described by the claim is incredibly simple. There is no huge stage performance. There is no dramatic announcement. There is no elaborate interaction. Instead, the story is about two members apparently being comfortable enough around each other to relax and fall asleep before an important schedule. For longtime BTS fans, quiet moments like these can sometimes feel more meaningful than the biggest public interactions. However, we need to make one thing very clear before going further. At this time, the story should be treated as an unverified fandom report, not as confirmed BTS news. There has not been enough publicly verified evidence presented with the claim to establish every detail as fact. That means we should not say as a certainty that Jimin and Jungkook definitely fell asleep together, or that Suga definitely witnessed the moment, unless an official source, direct footage, or reliable reporting confirms those details. And this distinction matters. Fandom spaces can move extremely quickly. A fan post can describe something they supposedly heard. Another account can repost it. Someone else can add more details. Within a short period of time, the original claim can turn into what appears to be a complete story. But the more time something is reposted, the easier it becomes for people to forget where the information originally came from. That is why today's story is best approached as a topic for discussion rather than a confirmed backstage report. Still, the reason the story has attracted so much attention is understandable. Jimin and Jungkook have shared many publicly visible moments throughout BTS's career, and fans have long noticed their comfortable friendship. From traveling and performing together to joking around during BTS content, the two have frequently appeared relaxed around one another. Their friendship has also been a major topic within the fandom for years. Jikook fans naturally pay close attention whenever Jimin and Jungkook appear together. A simple glance can become a discussion. A joke can become a viral clip. A backstage interaction can become one of the most talked about moments of an entire schedule. And when the story involves something as unexpected as falling asleep before soundcheck, fans immediately want to know more. Imagine the situation described by the claim. BTS has another demanding performance ahead. The members have spent hours traveling, preparing, rehearsing, and getting ready for the next stage. Backstage, there may be only a short window to rest. Instead of using that time for something complicated, the alleged story suggests that Jimin and Jungkook simply relaxed and fell asleep. If that description is accurate, it would not necessarily be surprising from a practical perspective. Artists with extremely demanding schedules need rest whenever they can find it. And when members have spent years working together, familiar surroundings and trusted company can naturally make it easier to relax. This is one reason fans should be careful about turning a simple resting moment into something more than what the available evidence actually shows. Being physically comfortable around another person does not automatically prove anything beyond friendship or familiarity. At the same time, fans are allowed to find the moment adorable. That is where fandom reaction becomes part of the story. Many Jikook fans reacted emotionally to the idea of Jimin and Jungkook simply resting together. Some fans described the alleged moment as soft, peaceful, and wholesome. Others focused on the idea that the two could apparently feel comfortable enough around each other to sleep before an important performance. And then there is Suga. The claim that Suga allegedly caught the moment added another layer to the story. Suga has always been known among BTS fans for his dry humor, calm personality, and ability to notice what is happening around him. So the idea of Suga discovering Jimin and Jungkook asleep has naturally inspired plenty of playful fan reactions. Some fans jokingly imagine Suga simply walking into the backstage area, seeing the two resting, and quietly processing what he was seeing. Of course, that imagined scene is fandom humor. Unless actual footage or a direct statement confirms Suga's reaction, we should not describe a hypothetical reaction as something he definitely did, but that has not stopped fans from having fun with the possibility. And honestly, that is part of what makes BTS fandom culture so active. Fans can take a small reported detail and imagine the personalities involved. Jimin's gentle personality, Jungkook's ability to fall asleep whenever he finds a comfortable moment, Suga's famously understated reactions. Put those three elements together, and it becomes easy to understand why the story spread so quickly. But there is another important part of the story, the timing. The alleged moment reportedly happened before Soundcheck. Soundcheck days are especially interesting for concert fans because they provide a different atmosphere from the main performance. During a concert, the members are performing for thousands of people, lights are flashing, cameras are everywhere, and the energy is enormous. Soundcheck can feel more relaxed. The members are still preparing professionally, but the atmosphere can sometimes be more casual. Fans may get to see the members in a less formal environment before the main show. That is why anything reportedly happening before Soundcheck can attract attention. Fans are already watching closely. They know the members are preparing for another performance. They know schedules can be exhausting, and they are naturally curious about what happens in the moments between official activities. For Jimin and Jungkook, those moments have often become especially interesting to their fandom. However, there is another point we need to consider. A backstage story is difficult to verify unless there is visual evidence or an official source. Unlike a concert performance that thousands of people can witness, backstage activities are private. There may be staff members, security personnel, production crews, managers, and other people around, but that does not mean every moment becomes public. Therefore, when a backstage claim appears online, the responsible approach is to ask where the information came from. Was there a video? Was there a photograph? Was it mentioned during an official live stream? Did one of the members discuss it? Was it reported by a credible media outlet, or did it originate from an anonymous fan account? Those questions help us separate confirmed information from fandom storytelling. In this particular case, the claim about Jimin and Jungkook sleeping together backstage, along with Suga allegedly catching the moment, should remain in the unverified category unless stronger evidence becomes available. That does not mean fans cannot discuss it. It simply means the wording matters. Instead of saying, Jimin and Jungkook definitely slept together backstage, it is more accurate to say, an unverified fandom claim says Jimin and Jungkook were allegedly seen resting or asleep together backstage. That small difference protects the credibility of the story while still allowing fans to talk about it. And for a channel like Jikook Daily, that distinction is important. Our goal is to bring fans the moments they enjoy while being transparent about what is confirmed and what is still circulating within the fandom. Now let's talk about why the idea of Jimin and Jungkook resting together resonates so strongly with fans. One major reason is familiarity. Jimin and Jungkook have been members of BTS together for many years. They have experienced countless rehearsals, concerts, flights, interviews, recordings, award shows, and international schedules. That kind of shared experience can create a very strong sense of familiarity. When people spend years working together under intense circumstances, small routines can become natural. They know each other's personalities, they understand each other's habits, they know when another member is tired, they know when someone needs a quiet moment. So if two members were simply resting near each other backstage, that would fit naturally within the broader reality of a group that has spent years working closely together. For Jikook fans, however, there is an additional emotional layer. They enjoy watching the little moments, not necessarily because every interaction has to mean something romantic, but because friendship itself can be meaningful. A shared laugh, a quick glance, a playful joke, a moment of support, a quiet conversation. These small interactions can make fans feel connected to the personalities they admire. That is why an alleged sleeping moment can become such a big discussion. There is something inherently wholesome about the idea of two exhausted friends finding a quiet place to rest before getting back on stage. And if Suga really did notice them, fans naturally want to know whether there was any reaction. Did he laugh? Did he say something? Did he simply walk away? Did he tell another member? At the moment, those questions remain unanswered unless reliable evidence emerges. And that is where we should leave the speculation. We can enjoy the possibility without pretending we know what happened. Another reason this story has attracted attention is the demanding nature of BTS's current touring schedule. World tours require enormous physical and mental energy. The members have to travel between cities, attend rehearsals, prepare choreography, perform live, participate in sound checks, and maintain their health and stamina. For performers at BTS's level, rest is not a luxury. It is part of preparing for the stage. That makes the alleged story feel relatable. Even global superstars need moments when they can close their eyes and recharge. And perhaps that is what makes the alleged Baltimore moment so appealing to fans. There is no stage persona involved, no elaborate choreography, no carefully planned performance, just the possibility of two longtime bandmates taking a quiet break before another major show. For many fans, that is the kind of moment they love most. But once again, we should keep the distinction clear. The emotional reaction is real, the fandom discussion is real, the claim is circulating, but the specific details remain unconfirmed. That means we should not turn an unverified report into a statement of fact. As more Baltimore content appears, fans may eventually get clearer information. Official BTS content could show backstage moments. A live stream could provide additional context. A member could mention something that happened before Soundcheck, or perhaps no additional information will ever appear, and that is completely normal. Not every backstage moment becomes public. Sometimes the most interesting stories remain private. For now, the Jikook fandom can continue enjoying the discussion while keeping expectations realistic. If the claim eventually receives confirmation, fans will undoubtedly revisit the story with even more excitement. And if it turns out to be exaggerated or inaccurate, then it is still important to acknowledge that rather than continuing to present it as fact. That is how responsible fandom news should work. We can be excited, we can laugh, we can appreciate Jimin and Jungkook's friendship. We can enjoy fan theories and playful reactions, but we should always know the difference between what we know and what we imagine. And that difference becomes especially important when discussing private backstage situations. For now, what we have is an intriguing Baltimore claim that has captured the attention of Jikook fans. The alleged image of Jimin and Jungkook resting together before Soundcheck has fans imagining a quiet and wholesome backstage moment. The added detail involving Suga has made the story even more entertaining for the fandom. But until reliable evidence appears, the story remains an unverified report rather than confirmed news. Still, one thing is undeniable: Jikook fans are paying attention. Every Baltimore update is being watched closely, every public interaction is being discussed, and every new piece of BTS content has the potential to give fans another glimpse into the members' lives on tour. So if more information about this alleged backstage moment appears, Jikook Daily will be here to break down what is actually shown, what is being reported, and what fans are saying about it. For now, keep watching the Baltimore updates closely because BTS's tour continues, and there may be plenty more moments for RMY and Jikook fans to talk about. And remember, enjoy the moments, respect the members' privacy, and always check the source before treating a viral fandom claim as confirmed information. Before we wrap up today's Jikook Daily update, we want to hear from you, RMY and Jikook fans. What do you think about the alleged Baltimore backstage moment involving Jimin and Jungkook? Do you think the story sounds like a simple, wholesome moment between two longtime members, or are you waiting for clearer evidence before believing the report? And what about Suga allegedly noticing them? If that part of the story were ever confirmed, what do you think Suga's reaction would have been? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, but remember to keep the conversation respectful and avoid presenting unverified claims as confirmed facts. If you enjoyed this update, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to Jikook Daily, and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll be among the first to know whenever another Jimin and Jungkook update comes out. From Baltimore backstage moments to soundcheck updates and everything happening around BTS's ongoing tour, we'll continue bringing you the latest stories, fan reactions, and important context. Thank you for spending your time with us today. This is Jikook Daily, and we'll see you in the next update. Until then, take care, stay respectful, and keep supporting Jimin, Jungkook, and all 7 members of BTS. By RMY.